Good evening from a very warm, very humid CMSL HQ. Fifey in the studio, and I am due to be joined by two commentators this evening. However, one of them claims to be on his way back from working at Glastonbury, although I understand that
He's running scared.
current Devils boss Rob has actually been running scared as a second co-commentator, but actually on time. Good evening, Greasy.
Evening, mate. Rock out with your cock out. We are here for the ride.
We are indeed, and we are halfway through the season. Let's bring up the stats of your campaign so far, and we'll highlight that against the hopefully soon to join us other co-commentator. What have you made of your opening half of the season?
It's been acceptable, but not spectacular.
Okay.
For my standards. Fourth is acceptable for a standard position, but I'd like to be higher. While there's a dirty Scotsman above me, I'll never be happy.
Well, quite. And we all know how this story is going to drag on throughout the whole season, but it's sure making for an entertaining last campaign until this save ends and the Super League goes on to pastures new. Yes, Steve, we know Rob said he'll be struggling until at least 10, but you lot complain if I delay it till 9:30 because there's some football on. So imagine delaying it till 10 because Rob can't get back from Glastonbury on time. You lot would fucking lynch me. So me and Greasy are going to do the first half of the show, and Rob can join us whenever he feels fit to do so. After special request, obviously Ghost Games permitting, Devil's Loco will be last, and it's been requested that Asta Haggis goes second last, so that Rob has every chance to watch it in all its glory. Other than that, we will fire through as they appear. Rob is better than football. That depends on who you ask. I mean, he's not exactly endearing himself to the Devils alumni who made them a once great squad, and he's making them somewhat of an embarrassment.
Powers that be. You can't. He's putting his fingers up to powers that be. I think he should veto his transfers, personally.
Let's. We got Devil's Loco last, Asta Haggis second last. Anything else is as it comes. So we will begin with a decent looking game. Sloths at home to Gazelles. Gazelles who continue to stick two fingers up to all the preseason predictions, and at the halfway point sit eighth. Sloths who were praised for, Hodgie was praised for significantly improving the squad, but they are down in 13th at the halfway stage.
Well, Rob butchered their squad completely, and Hodgie's working wonders to not be 14th.
Okay. Evening, Mr. Edwards, who I can see is joined in the chat. Let's have a look at the away side first then. And they join this ever-growing list of people who are happy to rest players set to be leaving the club. So there is no Day in the squad and no Hersey. The only change from the starting 11 from memory is that Hersey drops out and Pinardi comes in this left centre midfield. Evening Rodeo Bibbins, how are you, pal? Other than that, it's completely unchanged, and they're in decent form at the minute. Won their last 3, scoring a fair amount of goals. 9 goals in 3 games, decent. They're not conceding a great deal.
Well, of course they won't. They're actually playing a recognised tactic for the Super League. It's a beautiful formation, and it's one I've got plenty of time for.
And what about the personnel that's playing that? Are they perhaps exceeding expectations with what's available to them?
Yes and no. Zenden has been pulling up trees on that left wing back position, but I've discussed with Martin recently. I believe the wingers playing well at wing back can be a lot down to player instructions.
Yeah,
I think wing back defensive players work better with less instructions, and attacking players work better with more. So if you're telling Zenden to do more than what you would be doing Zenden might be performing better because he's better at more attacking actions.
Mm-hmm.
So if he's trying to get Day to be a round peg in a square hole, it's not working. But if you've got a round peg in a defensive position in a round hole, it's still going to be effective.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's have a look then at the home side, and just one change from the team that beat Devils last time out, 2-1 in what was an entertaining end-to-end fixture, and that is with Larsson's injury, Tolly comes in.
Yeah, it's disappointing to see players like Ebby Sand and Alan Shearer from how they played in previous, like last season, and Mantoris in his reserves, and Shane Tolley getting a starting berth.
Not a big fan, no?
Well, he's an okay player, but you can't really put him. The one thing in the Super League, if you're playing a striker, jumping is key. And as an out-and-out striker, and with a jumping of 3, he's just going to get bullied.
Okay. Interesting. Your predictions then for the first match of the evening, please, sir.
Gazelles 2-1.
Gazelles 2-1. Steve saying Ebby Sand is not going to be in Sloth's reserve shortly. Absolutely nothing happened in the first 13 minutes. Anelka misses the first opportunity of the game. Sloths get a penalty, and Michael Lamey scores. And it's 2-0 to the home side. Oh, it's been disallowed. Pizarro was offside, cancelling out Amoroso's goal. Gazelles now coming back into it, looking for an equaliser. 28 currently on the clock. Seeing Zayaleas getting heavily involved as we reach injury time at the first half. And that's flown by, but the crucial stat is Sloths are winning 1-0, Greavesy, and it could have been 2 if not for an offside decision.
Yeah, well then that means he's only 1. It's been a fabulous game, hasn't it? Look at that.
This has got you written all over it.
It is. It's beautiful. Gazelle's tactic is working. Key. It's doing what it's designed to do. You can play 3 up front. You can play 4 up front. You can play 5. You play that tactic when in defensive positions, when he's got Smertin and he's got Zayaleas there, they will clatter people in that DMC. He's got reliable centre halves. It's a solid formation. It'll do well. So without the ball, he is always going to be hard to break down. So, yeah, it's just players working in the right positions.
That is absolutely disgusting passing stats from Tolly, Danielson and Simeone, considering their crucial positions within the team.
If you look at it, they haven't had the ball. The only time they've had the ball is if they took the ball off Anelka, intercept Kivu and Valgaran have got the ball off Anelka. Other than that, Gazelle's midfield have bossed the possession.
Let's have a look at the Gazelle stats then. And the player ratings aren't quite as favourable. A lot more 6s throughout their team.
They've been playing a control and method, waiting to break down. It's the joys of this tactic. The stats can look poor when you're not winning, but there's still plenty of give in this game. Unfortunately, Barthez has done one of his favourites and played well, but let a goal in.
You mentioned Zenden in the build-up. He's seen very little of the ball thus far. Do you see him being more involved as crucial to Gazelle's getting back into this?
Yeah, he is crucial on that side. He's been very effective with his passing, but he hasn't contributed defensively. And you know me, I never like to see zeros on the tackling department. Even the strike. Well, you got to think, if Anelka has put in more tackles than you got to pull the finger out. It's not acceptable. If you got the sulk pressuring people.
Well, in the absence of Martin, assistant Dan is in the reins again, and he's saying has till 60.
Has he found the chat again?
He has found the chat again. Yes.
Good lad.
Good lad. He's got the hang of it now. I haven't seen Hodgie at all yet in the chat, but I know that's not necessarily meaning he's not there. So I'll just give him 20 seconds more or so to make a decision before we play until 60.
Well, he used to be working nights, but now he's too cool for the chat, isn't he?
Do you foresee a more entertaining for the neutrals, if not for you, second half, or do you expect the same levels from both sides?
I think it's going to end either 1-0 or Gazelles are going to score, and Seedolf is going to get an get an assist, so Martin can carry on masturbating in one corner over Seedolf's corners.
Right, no word from Hodgie, so we will go to 60 as requested by assistant Dan. A lot more action in the opening 5 minutes there. Amoroso with another opportunity. Daisy goes in the book. Sloth's coming forward again. Panardi with an opportunity. Oh, I've gone a little bit early there. 59 is close enough. Crikey,
That's
we
a minute
started.
early. No, it's not a 60th minute change, is it? You got to, no, doesn't count.
Well, again, we will just very briefly hover over the Sloth stats in case Hodgie does switch on. Rakova,
It's a
sorry,
nice steady performance so far, isn't it? I wouldn't change anything if I was Hodgie.
No,
Maybe
and
pop Tolly in at AMC. That'd be about it.
just shore it up a little bit.
Yeah, or even it's like creating a space, isn't it? Is causing a bit of mischief in between the two DMs.
I mean, I'm surprised you've not said that you would take the arrow off to Nielsen and bring Desai on just to have an extra defensive player.
Yeah, but I'm a massive fan of Desai, but unfortunately, at his age, he has got a Zimmer frame because his pace has gone horrendously. He's got a pace of 5, so he is just hobbling around trying to tackle someone, and I just don't want to witness it.
Well, we now have Martin and Dan live in the chat, so interesting to see who takes the reins at the 59/60th minute mark. Daisy there ranking a 5 and on a yellow. Would that be a consideration for you?
No, there's been one shot on. It's the joys of the formation. The midfield is clamping the attack, so they've only had really one shot on target, and every shot they've had, they've been offside, so it doesn't record as on target. It doesn't register as a shot. So Udeze looks like he's having a poor performance because he's not actually getting the balls to tackle anyone. He's not having a chance to be effective.
Well, in all good corporations and organisations, they say communication is key. Assistant Dan says that Martin's in charge, and Martin says he trusts in Dan. So absolutely none of them want to make a decision at this stage to try and get their side back into this.
Well, what that means is continue.
Martin does step in to decide, and he's decided that Paka is coming on. And
it is a bit. I was shocked that Nakata wasn't actually playing ahead of Pinardi.
Oh, okay, that's an interesting shout.
So I would have kept Parker as the right wing back and had Nakata in centre midfield because he is a former assist topper in the Super League, isn't he? With Valen, he got the most assists in one season.
He did, but he's never really had a shout in this save, and therefore
he hasn't had a run in a side, has he? Unfortunately.
So we've also had Pinardi get an extended arrow and a change up top from Martin.
That's risky,
but it's an attempt at doing something to try and get their side back in this.
Is Anelka going to think you pissed on his chips when he finishes the game?
There was the substitute with an opportunity.
You got to hope May pulls it out the bag because if Martin's pissed on his chips, he ain't going to be happy.
Pizarro had an opportunity there for Sloths. If you avoid it with your latest, it's unreal. I don't know what that's in relation to, Steve. Sorry. Here come the home side again. It's Pizarro trying his luck, Barthez, and it falls to Pizarro again. What a double save from the Gazelles captain. Unbelievable keeping his side in it. The home side coming forward again, but Pizarro's offside. Anelka's already pissed off, says Martin. 82 now on the clock, and Sloths asserting dominance again, which is perfect for them with 1-0 up. Simeone continues, and now Solari, Lamy on the other side. But it comes to nothing. Zenden looking to come forward, but he's tackled. Smertin picks it up though, but Zenden went too soon and is offside. And it's a yellow card for Zayaleas. Seedorf coming forward now, going to make things happen.
We can't have at least 4 days without Martin talking about Seedorf's assists. Something has got to happen.
Coming in towards injury time now. Zenden picks up. Zayaleas hits it from distance. It's deflected. Kivu manages to get in the way, but Zayaleas picks it up again. Seedorf on the volley over the bar. And there is the full-time whistle and a huge,
As a
huge
big
win for
result at the bottom
Sloths.
of the table.
It just tightens things up between the bottom and the middle of the table, as you say. And
Like a tiger.
crucially, that gives Northern Burn all sorts of problems now.
Northern who?
Gazelles did create a fair bit in that second half, not as much as the home side, but they created a fair bit. Unfortunately for them, just wayward shooting.
See, I'd be disorientated. That long arrow gave them more opportunities to break down in that second half.
Burn win, hold on now, says you.
Too adventurous. You can't be messing with that formation too much. Long arrows, no. They go in the bin. They're a myth.
Kivu picking up man of the match, and you'll be delighted to see those very, very strong and steady defensive displays.
Yeah, but Shane Tolley has done nothing to impress me this year. So much so, I'm going to call him Sean, for fuck's sake. No tackles, no pressures. What the fuck are you doing? 7 passes? Did he just wander about and hope to bloody have one shot? Carried him.
Well, they carried him to victory, that's for sure. Gazelles, you praised them throughout for their formation, but it didn't seem to suit. They had plenty of the ball, but as I said, they were wasteful with their shooting.
Poor. I blame Seedolf. Look at that. Seedolf's shooting.
Yeah, that's much more a return to standard, isn't it?
It is. Clarence the clown is what he was tonight.
He let his side down. But congratulations to Sloths, huge win for them at the bottom of the table. Commiserations, Gazelles, as that's just a little hiccup in what Martin says is a push for the top 6. No, we don't want that game next. We're avoiding that game as well. So let's go to Northern Burn, who are away to Hall's Vikings. And I don't know if you've seen this or not yet, Greavesy. Ian has fully changed it.
I know, I did see him put his team up, but I thought he'd just had a fit. Or maybe So, yeah. I can't condone the only there's no.
I mean, are you a fan on the attacking arrows from centre back?
No. You did ask me if I'm a fan of attacking arrows.
No. Well, you'll be unsurprised to see it's got a bit of a reaction in the chat, and the one that I've been waiting for has just popped up. Mr. Piers, has just put, ooh, now then.
Because it's a little bit asymmetric, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Duggan's mentioned that as well.
I can see Tato touching himself to this, especially if Burn go 1 up, Tato is going to be erect.
Even the Dimble, who's joined the chat. Steve Wright.
The caravan massive. Gets on there, Dimble. You love it.
Steve Wright initially put fuck me, and now put this is unreal. Love it, Ian. Put any Tato stuff to shame. Tato's come back in with this is what we're talking about. Everyone's very excited to see this Burn formation, but will it work? Is the question. The only thing Tato's got an issue with is the 3 centre backs, which is probably the only bit you agree with.
No, I'm not a fan of 3. It's either 2 or 4. 2 or 4. I've tried to make 3 at the back work, but there's always one that gets a 6. And he's got to hope in this position it's not a choreography. I've tried with the passing, certain players passing out to left and right. But...
So they were already 5 points behind Sloths, who have just won. So that's now an 8-point gap. This is the halfway stage, as we know. Are we in danger of saying if Burn don't win this, they're almost certainly going to finish bottom already?
Yeah. Although we have got a Dragons collapse coming, and Dragons love a collapse in the second half of the season.
Dragons love it. Doug will be delighted by that comment.
If you go on history, and if you look at the stats that Swan put out the other week with the combined tables, Dragons are bottom.
And we have to credit Swan for keep coming up with original and very interesting stats. I love the one this week that he posted about head-to-head records.
I would just like to champion Swan and go against some of my discreditors, because if you look at the complete total of the head-to-head from out the full 5 years that we've been doing this, I am joint second best goal average in the Super League. Joint second. Me. I get slated for being defensive, but how if I'm so defensive and I'm such a shithouse that I have the second best goal average in the league over 5 years? You can't argue with the stats. Can't argue with the stats.
So I forgot to ask, normally I check with my co-commentators if they have a second device with the chat available. I've kind of gone on the side of caution and said you haven't.
No, I don't care what the peasants have to say.
Well, you might be interested to know that Islamic All-Stars has joined the chat and said, I'm about 40 minutes away. Get your botty bots warm, Greavesy.
It's warm and ripe, my friend.
Maka has also joined. Good evening, sir. Who just put, I hate my wife. Steve, just quickly, I've just clicked off Northern Burn to show the Hall side, who I noticed. I got to. No, that's not it. Hang on. I need to check the Hall's team. I think I've done it wrong. But while I double check that, I want to draw your attention. Steve suggested that Brozek can't play AMC, let alone there. You might recall he was playing this sort of right wing position, if you like. Tato's arguing, saying that Brozek can definitely play out wide.
No. He's a striker.
He's a striker. You're not having it now.
Brozek is a striker. If you click on midfielders, when you look on your player selection, Brozek is not there. Just because he's an FRC does not mean he can play midfield. It's the same stigma that Ian had playing fucking Lewis Saha at AMC for a year, wondering why he didn't play well. Because he's not a fucking AMC.
Apologies to Jens, I misread what he wanted me to do. I've now changed it. This is correct. Rodia Bibbins.
The way it was.
Sorry?
I preferred it the way it was.
Of course you did, because this is slightly more attacking looking.
It's just.
But let's talk about Halls now, if we can. So they currently sit 7th in that cluster of 3 sides, 2 points below the dotted line. Jens always claims to be 1 game away from the sack, but if you notice that,
if you go by his board, he is.
Well, that's because he's always calling them out. But he's never on a massively bad run of form as such. You know, I think the worst run there is 2 defeats.
Yeah, but if you look at the caliber of players that he's got, there's a reason the board have high expectations. Okay. Unfortunately, Jens has been scuppered in recent seasons. He's had a quality team, but his keeper likes throwing the ball in his own net. And the amount of, I think Constanzo has the record of the amount of 5s in a season.
I don't know. I'm sure that in one of my years, Seb Frey must have got various 5s.
Yeah, but you also know my opinion on Seb Frey.
This is true.
He's one of the key. You've got many keepers in the game that are rated highly, but they concede goals. You can win, but a lot of people don't play the game like I do. And I know I'm an abnormality. And
well, no one would ever dare describe you as normal, Greavesy.
Well, people think winning a game 4-3 against the AI every other game is acceptable, where I don't. And then when they finish the season and they go, I had a marvellous season, we've won every single game, but they've only got a +10 goal difference and they conceded 94 goals. Well, that's not. You're playing against the AI, you should be smashing every game.
So we've got Tato saying up the asymmetric burn. We've got Jens saying just play and get the inevitable 0-1 over with, please. And then Alf talking about England women currently winning. Can I have a score prediction from you, please, sir?
I will say Hall's Vikings 2-0.
Hall's Vikings 2-0. And
Oh, actually, going by the Northern Burn tactic, 4-0.
4-0. And Greavesy, forgive me if I'm wrong. No one else can see this, but you've got a slightly different dress attire, shall we say, to what you normally have when you're on co-coms.
I told Rob I'm naked. I am going to windmill when we win.
Is that a tattoo, sort of your chest stroke arm area?
Yes.
Very interesting design from what I can see.
The shit tribal that I had when I was 21 years old.
It's a shit tribal from when you were 21 years old. And we've got an injury. Sol Campbell after just 7 minutes.
Big dick, and he's got no decent sub. He's got the dicks going off and gone cook.
The much rumoured future Swindon Town manager before the club very quickly distanced themselves from that one.
What,
the only rumour, yeah, the one rumour that the club distanced themselves from was Sol Campbell coming in. Is this Naked Attraction? Do you know what I don't know why, but I like the thought of Alf watching Naked Attraction. Doug is saying, "Course Greaves, he's got a tribal tattoo."
I'm also on the fundamental belief that if you're a man in his late 30s and you haven't got a shit tattoo, you haven't lived.
Now, God, you're making me think now. Is there precedent for this? Jens wants to change his formation because of this injury. I think injuries, it's just straight swapping.
He's shit, let him change.
Okay.
He's going to lose now. Because it's either Song Jong Cook or Malevsky at centre half. And you might as well sub the goal play without a keeper if you're doing that.
Right, hang on. So
is he going one at the back?
I'm just trying to work it out. So he wants Gerrard on in centre mid, one at the back. Who did I have this with the other day? Someone else wanted to make a sub, and I said no in the end.
Yeah, but you can do, you're chairman, Fifey. You can do what the fuck you want.
I can't remember what the rule is for injury.
Fifey,
do what I want.
You give us the transfer window. We fucking love you for everything you do. If you want to do this, no one's going to fucking moan. And if anyone moans, tell them to fuck off.
Tell them I know someone with a tribal tattoo as well. Steve says he's also got a tribal tattoo.
See, he's late. He's 38, same age as me, and he's got a shit tribal tattoo. That's what you got to have.
Do you know what? That's fair, Duggan. Yeah, Jens, you can have your sub. Just please confirm that's how you want it. I think that's right. Gerrard on up to CM, Vogel to DMC. Yeah, that's right. So, Ian, if you want to respond, or do you want to keep this?
Change it, please. Just go low.
just go all out the fence now.
Yeah, it hurts my eyes.
Steve got his at 18, not a sensible 21, and Dan's saying that he's got a tattoo of Steve.
See, I got a tattoo on my 18th birthday, which is also a shit tattoo.
Do you have any non-shit tattoos?
I've got a sleeve which isn't a shit tattoo.
Put it up to the camera.
I've got my full arm done.
Oh yeah. How have I never noticed you've got an arm full of tattoos?
My shit tattoo, which I got when I was 18, which I found out I didn't realise that because I just picked it out of a book because I was 18. That back in the day, you got the band, Steps from
Tragedy fame.
Yeah.
Yep.
One of the performers' brothers, they had a band. Her brothers formed a band called Free SL, Free Scott Lee. This is embedded in my mind from trauma.
Such a random story.
We were in Alton Towers for the day, and we decided to get on the beer and get pissed while we were at Alton Towers. And they had a celebrity event where these bands were playing, and this band, Free SL, were there. And I believe my mates conspired against me to actually have us there that day, because one of the blokes in the band has the same tattoo. Where we were in the bar area where the band was playing, and we moved across and they moved over. So they'd moved out into the crowd. My friends turned me round, kicked me in the back towards him, going, he's your biggest fan. He's even got the same tattoo. So I am face to face with this person who I haven't got the fucking clue who he is. And we're both standing there and we've got the same tattoo on the same arm, not knowing what to say.
Well, speaking of people not knowing what to say, just to bring you up to date with some of the comments, I don't know if you saw, Ian made a slight tactical tweet with forward arrows on those wingers. Steve saying the reason I've never noticed your tattoo is because you're always wearing dressing gowns, whereas Rob suggested I'm never normally seeing your sleeve is you're normally up to your shoulder in your cousin. Dimble saying he's got free fish on his arse, and Duggan saying this is a new low for Cocoms. Steve saying he knows who Free SL are.
See? But it wasn't as bad as this fucking game, was it?
Where Rodeo's asking, wonder who'll be the first to win free SL titles. Very clever. And Duggan saying the term banned being used too liberally. Anyway, back to Super League action. Your story of Steps' brothers banned took us to half time, and it's still Halls 0, Burn 0. Sol Campbell's injury, the only entertainment.
Yeah. Poor formation, one at the back. What more can I say?
Let's have a look at the home side stats. Costanzo putting in a fairly decent performance, but he's only had a couple of shots at him. Malevsky in holding midfield on his own, doing what he does best and dominating things both on the ground and in the air.
Malevsky he's just a little dynamo, isn't he?
And before even seeing his stats, Jens had decided what he was doing. Stop with the tattoo stories and play, please. Get it over with. Crespo is coming on for what I believe is his farewell address to the Halls fans. I believe he's on his way.
He's here to impress his new manager, isn't he?
And Malevsky arrow down, please. What, just like that, Jens? Just confirm that's how you want his arrow. And then we will carry on and have a look at Northern Burn. Rob saying, don't worry, he'll be down. He will drag it down to new depths very shortly.
Come on, Rob. Come show us your shit tattoos.
I bet Rob's got some cracking tattoos. As for Northern Burn, they've had 2 penalty appeals turned down while you were talking about Steps' brothers band. Okoronkwo, probably the pick of the bunch from their perspective. The share of the ball throughout all the players is fairly equal. I'm looking at Brozek's performance there as he was the one that was being called out in the chat. He's been okay. He's had one of the 2 shots on goal, as has Robin from the other wing. Cliver yet to do anything of note.
Can we just address these tackles? We just address it. What the fuck is Medina doing? What is Totti doing? What's Cliver doing? What's Robin doing? They're doing fuck all.
Well, they don't need to, because look at Okoronkwo and Hoffland doing everything.
Because they're out wide. They're nowhere near the ball.
Just waiting clarification from Ian if he wants to change anything. What would you be changing in this situation?
Fucking everything. But you can only make... Oh, no. No, it just hurts me head.
Ian also...
If I try and think of it too much, I'll have a stroke.
Ian going as is, so we play until 60. Shut up with your paint by numbers tactics, please. Up the experimental burn, says Jens. Crespo getting involved, Okoronkwo getting involved. A couple of chances there for the home side, failing to score. Another one goes wasted. And there's back, but his is wasted as well. Crespo getting involved again, and we reached a tactical break. He'd be changing his tattoo. Fitness-wise, nothing too concerning there. No one on a yellow card either. Do you expect Jens to see this out with this team now?
No, I think he's going to bring on Son John Cook for his keeper and stick him up front.
It won't surprise me, extend wing-back arrows is the word. No problem, Jens. I'm slightly surprised not to see maybe a diagonal arrow on Spanish, Gerard. Not that you'd be.
It would be fitting with the song, wouldn't it? When they sing Gerard, because there's 2 of them, isn't it?
There is indeed. As for
There's only 2 Gerards.
I mean, I'll be honest, a lot of this stuff down here I never normally notice, but do we normally get 2 weather forecasts, breezy and downpour?
Yeah, but still 16 degrees is nice and sunny, isn't it? Good Aussie weather.
As for Northern Burn, Sander Westerveld, didn't really mention it, is in goal in place of Toldo today, and he's rating a 9 at the moment.
Yeah, less said about Toldo to me, the better, please.
Too many Gerards spoil the broth, says Steve Wright.
You got Gazza's playing okay, isn't he? But he's got the lowest fitness.
What's that, Gazza's regen?
Yeah.
He's also got the joint lowest rating.
Yeah, but a shit tactic, isn't it? You can't blame him for that.
Well, it's doing all right against a plucky Hull side at the moment.
Meh.
Maybe we'll see Gustavo Lopez come on. He never normally lets Burn down. I could see maybe Medina playing centre mid on his own and Lopez on for Morgan with an arrow.
Yeah, but it's Ian, bless him. He commits to what he's doing, and he's like me. It's as is.
So we're taking an arrow off Cannavaro, and Lopez is coming on for Totti. Is the word from Northern Burn. So half an hour more or less to play. Still 0-0. Changes made. Are we going to see some goals in this one, Greavesy?
No.
Well, we've got 20 minutes left to play. We'll just slow the commentary down a little bit. Burn changes certainly seem to have given them a bit more impetus. But
if you'd like a bit more info on a shit tattoo, the same one which the 3SL is linked with is my friends also like to take the piss because Gaz out of 2 pints of lager and a packet of crisps has the same tattoo.
When did this become tattoo fixers?
What?
When did this become tattoo fixers?
I think I should go on there personally.
Westerveld with another great save. Halls get a corner. Candela lifts it in. Lopez clears. Coming up to injury time as Burn try to come forward. Costanzo sends it forward, but Brozek picks it up. Medina, Brozek, Malevsky in the way. Okoronkwo, but Gerard picks it up. Malevsky, back. Crespo, another save from Westerveld. We're into injury time. Maybe one last chance. Is it going to be Limbs in the home end? Back, Candea, Contra, Crespo, Westerveld with another save. What a performance by the goalkeeper. Archie back and another save. Sander Westerveld's like a man possessed tonight.
He's going to have a 10, isn't he?
And it's finished 0-0, and I do have to check. Yes, man of the match performance.
And he's only completed 2 passes. So Westerveld was just passing the ball back to the striker just to save it. How could he do that?
It's unbelievable. So
Kevin Hoffman had a game and a half, didn't he?
So the reaction is already flooding in. One at the back versus Bonkers should never end 0-0, says Steve Wright. Dan said, this game will be tattooed on my mind for all the wrong reasons. And Jens said, well done, Sander. Sorry, Ian, I mean. Unbelievable performance.
Passes, 2 completed. He gave 12 passes to the opposition team. What the fuck? And he's still got a 10.
He's taken the piss.
Jens must have had 84 shots.
Let's have a look. We'll come back and review the player performances in a second. 15 shots with 12.
How pissed off Jens is going to be? There's going to be teacups. No.
Jens's laptop is out the window. His wife is out the window.
12 shots on target, and then that's beautiful.
It's not often the CoComs enjoys performance so much.
It's just amazing, isn't it?
Duggan, I think Duggan's just got this saved as a comment to throw out once every game week. None of us know what we're doing. Ridiculous results. Ian had this sussed all along. Dimble saying it's mental.
If you look at these stats,
Maka is just using.
if you look at the actual gameplay stats,
Yep.
Jens should have won like 6-0.
Mac is just using the chat as therapy because he's only ever commenting on nothing to do with the game. His latest one, State of My Missus, and then a word that I won't repeat, but it begins with a C and ends in a T. I'm sure you can fill in the blanks. Let's have a look at the home side stats and who is to blame. I mean, if you take it purely on ratings, it's a very good performance. If you look at the stats, it's a good performance, but the one that matters is they did not score. I'm looking at Archie back there, 4 attempts, 4 on target. Crespo came on and he was firing in from everywhere.
They all got him on target. It's just Westerveld was standing there with his dick out, batting them away, going, "No, you shall not pass." It's
Ian's for enter Sanderman. Yes, Dimble. He called Macca called his missus a cat. Correct. I mean, if you're Jens, you're going to be disappointed with this, obviously, because you've drawn despite absolutely dominating. When you have retrieved your laptop and your wife from outside, there's not. You'd be tempted to just go same again because that can't possibly not work again, can it?
Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? It's just...
I know you're desperate now to just discuss something I've never really understood about the ratings. Okay, so Halls have clearly carved through Burn like a warm knife through butter. Yet all the defenders have got excellent ratings.
Yeah, but if you look how much you got, Morgan Medina, they didn't even attempt any tackles. So you've got, they're head to head with Gerard, and they just let them walk through. They attempted 2 tackles each in 90 minutes.
I mean, that is poor.
I'd be fucking livid. That's what I expect my strikers to complete. They just stood there on the halfway line going, "Oh, they got past me." They've got the ball.
Sorry,
it is the flamboyant midfielder. When they go forward with the ball, they get tackled and they go, "Oh," and they look behind them, hoping that people are going to. They do a half-hearted track back.
I know you're a big fan of people really embodying all things Super League. So I just want to read you Dimble's comment. Not saying I love the Super League more than my family, but I'm sat in the car because the caravan has no 4G. Greaves is applauding, having nearly spat his beer out. Sorry, you in a rush, Tato? You feel like this particular game's been on? We're basically trying to kill time until Rob can join us to really add to the entertainment. Congratulations to Sander Westerveld, superb performance on what is his first appearance in 3 years for the away side. No, we're saving that. So we will go to Churchtown next, and they're at home to Dragons. So let's have a look at the home side, who lost to Dudley Hill last time out. They tweak it slightly. It hasn't taken 25 mins free SL tattoo chat, 10 minutes game. So here is the Churchtown lineup, Greavesy. And I think this will be right up your street because the further forward you get, there's still a hell of a lot of defensive-minded players.
Yeah, but you play defensive-minded players in attacking positions. It works out. You drop them wing-backs back. It is Northern Burn 101. But Dimble has done very well with ML and MR. So I fully trust him in this. Hackermild will be a menace in that centre. And I think Tomasi will do well on his own. Okay. So, yeah, fair play to him. Brujink has come on leaps and bounds since I sent him his way because he was fucking awful for me.
Well, he scored 1 goal in 4 starts for you, and then he's gone on to be absolutely electric at Churchtown. I mean, his average rating, I don't think, tells the full story of what he's contributed since he signed.
AMCs never get a good average rating because the DMCs just overpower him. So it's the goals and assists you need, and that's what Brujink is getting.
Zambrotta and Volodenkov, is that as good a wide pairing as anyone in the league has?
Yes. I don't think many people can get. Volodenkov is a very underrated player for half the league. Half the league love him, half the league don't really rate him at all.
He's somehow managed to play for just about every Super League club as well.
Yeah, but if you look at the average rating, it's solid.
Dependable.
Then he's not played a lot. He's not had a decent run. I do think his fitness has been an issue until this season. That's why he hasn't played too much.
And Zambrotta, obviously a man you know very well.
Yeah, he done well, but unfortunately on the big stage, he let me down. So,
Off he went.
Well, if you look on the grand scheme of things, I ended up trading up. I let Zambrotta go to end up getting Crespo eventually. So
Dragons are playing like this. They got the two centre backs with three.
You got to swap Lysans and Saeed, I believe.
I think you might be right. To be fair, hang on. Let me check that. I'll be honest. This is the least prepared I've ever felt for a Super League. So you're lucky that the anywhere near accurate teams.
It's because I'm naked, isn't it?
No, because I wasn't prepared before you came on. Why can't I find Dragons chat? Where did he put? Oh, it's because it was in an email. Fuck, hang on. Duggan, just tell me in the chat if it's the wrong way around. I think it is. Yeah. Thank you. Left and centre. That's better, isn't it? So they have tweaked it up a little bit. Ortega comes in. They're playing a front two this time. Morientes and Sigalko together. Do you think this can work, or is Sigalko one of those men that can only work on his own?
I'm a big fan of Morientes in the Super League. He pulls up trees and he never gets a proper run in a team. He scores on average a goal every other game if he's played consistently. And unfortunately, he hasn't had that chance in this save. I'm a firm believer that Tselko, he will score goals, doesn't matter where he is. He might not score as much as a 2 as what he does a 1, but it's mainly because the chances are shared out between 2 strikers.
Looking at Dragons' defensive options, Juan's come in to partner Ekiog tonight. Stats-wise, he looks every bit a decent player and capable in the Super League. When you look at the other options, because obviously Juliano's suspended, would you have gone with Juan, or would you be playing Risp or Halovko maybe?
No, I'd be playing Juan.
Okay.
I'm surprised. It is disappointing he's not playing Juan at the back.
Yes, well, I believe they did do that at one point. Oh no, it's a ghost game. That means we're going to have to wait till the end now for Dragons.
Well, we'll have to drag it out a bit longer, won't we?
Let's go. That would be the next one.
Dragging out the Dragons. They love it.
Fulchester, Leddersford, and Leddersford have also changed it up with a varied version of their
Tato, what the fuck is that?
Asymmetric tactics. Scally with a forward run and Marco with a backwards run, running into each other.
Get in the bin.
Not a fan?
No.
What about the differing runs? Etsabaria, who's a natural attacker, having the short run, and the versatile Diop having the longer arrow.
Diop longs in the bin. He's shit. Long arrows, no. Backwards arrows, meh.
Everyone commenting on the fact that Dimples misses in one guise or another is going to be absolutely delighted that he's out in the car even longer now.
She loves it.
She loves it. Duggan will be delighted to see Constantinu in the starting lineup. Your thoughts on him?
Greek waiter.
just simply Greek waiter.
Kerr
dropping in when
we went for a kebab the other day, and he said, "I used to play for Panathinaikos." You know, so yeah, all right, mate. I'll have chili sauce and salad, thanks.
Let's have a look at Fulchester, who by default go unchanged from last time out, despite losing 2-0 at Bostock Stanley.
Backward arrow, meh.
Not a fan of a backward arrow.
No, I don't figure AMC. Nedved AMC, Delant back in, and Shevchenko on his own.
Okay. Shevchenko's never won the Gets numbers, and yet he normally is partnered. Do you think he would be better suited to playing on his own?
He just needs the right. He needs the right tender touch.
Is that right?
He needs to be caressed.
I'm pleased to see that Molina keeps his place despite his first poor game of the season.
Well, if you look at his actual stats, they're very, very good. With his balance and bravery, both 2018, got decisions, determination, handling, reflexes, everything you want, really. He can't really jump, but other than that, if there's any shots from distance, he's fine.
A score prediction then, please, for Fulchester against Leddersford.
Going against that batshit crazy, I think Leddersford will win 1-0.
Just play Sunday's analysis for Fulchester. It's a lively start, but no goals in the opening 10. Leddersford come forward, and they seem to be having a period of sustained attacks at the moment. Seeing Van Nistelrooy's name, Diop goes into the book as Gattuso and Nedved get Fulchester back in this game with a bit of possession. Gattuso again. Shevchenko has a shot, misses. Ronaldo missing from a corner as well. 4 minutes being added on to the end of this first half. We're just approaching injury time now, but Leddersford coming forward. And there is the half-time whistle. I'd love to see Greavesy managing all teams for one round. He doesn't like any of the other players in the league.
I'm not here to entertain people. I'm here to criticise.
A very, very even first half.
Yeah, but look at that. Look at the Fulchester.
79%
tackles. Sexual, isn't it? I'm almost erect. That was 85. I would be stonking.
Let's have a look at the home side then. And you mentioned the tackling stats there. Let's see who in particular is impressing. Nicky Butt, unsurprisingly there, look. Gattuso also doing a hell of a job as well.
It is. It's just nearly erotic. Look at it.
Is that your ideal threesome with Nicky Butt and Gennaro Gattuso?
Don't get me going. Don't get me going.
4 yellows for the yellows, says Dan, and he is correct. Diop, Scally, Rayed, and Ndai all in the book, and look at the amount of sixes there.
Because they've got so many arrows, they've got a fucking clue what they're doing.
It's also worth, you will hate this, and I don't know if you spotted it, probably the most attack-minded subs bench in Super League history.
That's just disgraceful.
I know you're here, Macca.
Is it Mark Kerr, 0 tackles, Rayhead 0?
And Macca just wants me to briefly go back so he can have a look at his stats. He missed them. Either divorce or Super League, says Macca. We have Leddersford changes already. Diop off for Gallardo.
He's been liking a winger.
Rayed off for Galletti.
I do like that when the transfer window popped up, Tato highlighted Gallardo as a player who potentially could be for sale when he was in the fucking auction and he was the only person that bid on him.
Nedved is going out wide and Van der Laan is coming on, so you'll be delighted to see a defensive change.
No, it's not. It's more of an attacking one. I'd rate Nedved out wide more than Duff.
So both sides making changes at half time. Let's see how that affects things. Tres for Ronaldo at 60, I bet, says Macca. Well, we will see.
It helps for the wager for Diop and Nedved, doesn't it?
Constantinou opens the scoring for the away side. Sorry, so let's
dish out Cabal and then put one in the net.
So we are at 61 minutes. Fulchester are behind. I'm expecting Trezeguet on for Ronaldo and Figo to drop back with a forward arrow. Will be the selection. That's my prediction.
That's how he should start it.
Mac is saying, divorce time now, having seen his side go 1-0 down. Duggan, unsurprisingly, praising Constantinou for his goal. Correct, Fufe. I think he means Fife. But Maka has lost the ability to type. So we're going Figo here with a forward arrow and Trezeguet on for Ronaldo. Let's have a look then at Ledesford. I suggest your wife takes over for the last 20 minutes. Alf's got Bants, Greavesy.
He's loving it. He's had a Benedictine. I can feel it.
Quitting this bullshit asymmetric league, says Maka. Same possibility, but now that Ledesford are winning, perhaps Kerr dropping back. Yeah, there it is. So drop Kerr. So you'll like this. Look, it's defensive changes. Scally's lost his arrow. Mark Kerr's dropped back to centre mid.
Meh.
Not enough to make my co-commentator happy. Fulchester come forward. Van Nistelrooy with the opportunity. We'll slow the commentary down. 1 goal in this game at the moment, 15 to play. Oh, and it's a red card for Ndiaye. Ledesford are down to 10 men. And what a huge red card that could be. I was saying he's on the strawberries. Do you think Kerr will drop further back, starting in attacking midfield and ending in defensive midfield?
Well, he likes leaving big holes in spaces, so I think, yeah.
He has dropped back. No arrow is the call. Mackie, you have chance to respond to that if you so wish. Not that John Curtis is really going to do much, but do you want to advance your wingers at all and go all-out attack to try and get an equaliser? Or are you happy to leave as is? This situation constantly wants me to struggle. Fuck off. As soon as I get on a run, shot happens. I think he means shit happens. Macca keeping it as is. So 16 minutes plus injury time to play. Led us for the goal up, but a man down. Nought I can do but lose here, he says, as a lovely Fulchester move sees Trezeguet level things up. 1-1 on 77 minutes. And do Fulchester have enough to go on and win this now as Nedved comes forward with the ball? Van der Laan. 3 minutes to be added on. Gallardo, and now Perry, Scally, Gallardo. Off the bar. YouTube correcting my violence, says Maka. Etsabaria coming forward. Lucio clears. Scally picks it up. Shevchenko blocks Kerr. Etsabaria now Van Nistelrooy. Lucio gets in the way. Corner comes to nothing. And there is the full-time whistle as Mr. Campbell joins the chat at last. And the game finishes. Fulchester 1, Ledesford 1. And much like half-time, a very even game. And look at that, Fulchester even maintaining their tackling percentages.
The game might have been fucking shit, but at least they got some tackles in.
Ian said it was a decent game, that. Good game, Maka. Boring result for both.
Nato, if only you could average over 6 shots a game. That's all I say.
Maka saying it was a fair result. Solid point for both, says Duggan. Let's have a look. Shevchenko getting
Nedved getting the assist after moving out wide.
He did indeed. Shevchenko getting man of the match for his all-round performance, although other than winning a lot in the air, I don't really see what he's done to deserve man of the match there.
Yeah, he's been dominant in the air, hasn't he? If you win more headers than the centre halves, you know you're doing something right.
Dan's saying 17 throw-ins for Ledesford, more than they managed in his entire reign. Molina back in with a decent performance after his lesser standard last time out. It's fairly solid for Maka that. Getting back on the horse after a little bump, as they say. He'd be maybe a little frustrated not to have won, given they were at home, but he said it's a fair result.
Yeah, other than the half-time subs, only Figo has got a poor performance, hasn't he? And you can't really criticise, can you?
The sixes slowly started to disappear for Ledesford. We saw obviously 8 or 9 players on sixes at half-time. Etsabaria put in a decent performance, Constantino as well.
You had that Neil Scally getting a yellow card and only completing 2 tackles. You got the wall, as he likes to call him, Ndiaye, completed less than half of his tackles.
So poor defensive display from Ledesford.
and you got his Egyptian king Rayad doing fuck all. It's that asymmetric. He's playing about too much, and it's not working.
Well, congratulations both sides on your point this evening. I'm sure it will prove pivotal come the end of the season.
Sort it out, you don't shit.
Where are we now? We're at Bostock Stanley entertaining the current champions Dudley Hill. And Zé Roberto doesn't play, but Vieri does as part of this team. And as promised, Bostock have kept it one at the back. They've slightly amended their DM line. I thought this was wrong, but I'd already checked it. Guigu does play at left wing back.
He can over there.
I've got Arca back from loan. Roasty. But Kutsov comes in for the injured. It's Gonzalez, isn't it? Yeah, Gonzalez is injured. So Kutsov comes in. And other than that, it's unchanged. Do you see one at the back doing the job again?
No. You fluked one. You're not going to fluke two.
Interesting. What about Alephopoulos? Obviously, for many years, Andre was the go-to number one, but now Alephopoulos definitely come in as the.
I like Alephopoulos as a keeper, but if you're leaving him at one at the back, you're asking for trouble, and you can't rate a keeper when he's only playing with one defender in front of him. So he's one of I rate him as one of the top keepers in the game, but it's the bit, isn't
it? Bostock currently find themselves in ninth. They're in that cluster of teams we talked about earlier on 17. It's been consistently inconsistent is the term I've used for them this season. I mean, just look at the movement in that line over the course of the opening half of the season. Do you think this side has it in them to find that consistency again and just start going on the upward trajectory?
Well, with knowing what transfers he's gotten in, he's got Dino coming in, and if he sticks to a decent formation, he'll do fucking damage. So I can see him rising up the table, but it's just waiting and hoping for it to click after.
As for Dudley Hill, it's more or less the championship winning team. Abiati has been first choice list throughout the season. He remains in goal. Ferdinand obviously came in, but other than that, this is more or less. I think Johnson's the only one that wasn't in.
Thuram.
Oh, of course, Thuram, yeah.
But it's a solid formation that proved him well. And, yeah, it should get the result. Zanetti is one of the best fullbacks on the game. Lizarazu. Steve keeps trying to replace him for no apparent reason. We've got a paedophile that's just appeared in the chat.
Yes, it's worth saying we are now a trifecta as we say good evening to Mr. Rob Marshall.
Good evening, everyone except Greavesy. Greavesy, what are you doing? Why have you got no clothes on?
It's very warm in the studio. How was Glastonbury?
It's horrendous.
And it's not even started yet.
No, it's awful. I don't really want to talk about it. All I want to talk about is how it's nice that Greavesy's removed himself from one of his family pets for the evening, which is quite nice.
Greasy, the views dropped to 6 with 7 games to play. We're just looking at Dudley Hill. They're away at Bostock Stanley here today, and it's back to the sort of tried and tested for Steve, Mackay supporting Saviola and Tony. Now, I do believe Saviola is Halls bound, and Steve wasn't actually originally playing him tonight, but forgot that he was Halls bound and kept him in the lineup.
Why not? Why not? I can't. Wait, who's he swapped him for at Halls? Who's it? What's the deal?
I'm presuming Crespo.
Well, yeah. Who invited?
I'll be honest, I haven't read them all yet because everyone sent them. Normally, all the managers are very good at keeping it very neat and tidy, but they were all doing it in different ways. Some of them were WhatsApping me, some of them were DMing me, some of them were doing it before the team selection, some of them were doing it after. I completely lost track of who's doing what, so I'm going to have to be very careful when I do these transfers. Steve's comment, Vogel. Saviola is swapping for Vogel.
Well, there we go. That's great news for everyone, apart from Saviola. So, yeah.
Yeah, but he's got that handsome bastard to look at in the change rooms now, hasn't he?
Oh, what the hell? Look. Can you imagine being told off by Jens? By Jens?
It's just dreamy.
Well, speaking of Jens,
I would do things to get told off.
I would drag my balls over a mile of broken glass just to sniff a chair that Jens sat on 5 years ago.
Well, speaking of Jens, he's with Rob joining the commentary team. He's put, for fuck's sake, who invited Beavis and Butthead to the Super League?
Not very nice.
So, gents, starting with Greavesy, score predictions for Bostock at home to Dudley Hill, please.
Bostock 2, Dudley Hill 2-0.
Dudley 2-0. Rob?
I'm going to go for a 1-1 shutout.
A 1-1. Let's find out which one of you is correct. As Torres goes in with an early opportunity, but fails to convert for Bostock, the home side seem to be dominating the early exchanges. And they take the lead through Kutsov, who came in for the injured Gonzalez for this one. And the one at the back is doing the job again. 20 minutes now on the clock. Another yellow card handed out. And first real attempt in anger for Dudley Hill there, just after the half-hour mark. They do seem to be creating a little bit more now. Seeing Luca Tony's name get involved, but as I say, that Bostock coming forward. 40 minutes now on the clock as Roy Mackay misses an opportunity. And there's another one for Saviola, I believe, this time. Torres going close for Bostock. And we've reached half-time. And it's 1-0 to the home side. Both sides creating Greavesy, and both sides being quite wasteful in front of goal.
It's been fucking awful, isn't it? How is this going to be an advertisement? People slag me off, but look at this. Look at this. You should both be ashamed of yourselves.
People slag you off because you look like a peanut with a fucking beard. That's why people slag you off.
Evening Scott, who without even seeing his stats has said roll with it. Rob, a comment on the home side here from what you can see stats wise?
My main concern is that I've just come in. I left for work at 6:30 this morning. I've just got in. I haven't spoken to my wife, and she's stirring upstairs. So that's my main concern here. Oh fucking hell! I'm in trouble here, lads. Anyway, Bostock. Were we talking about Bostock, Fifey? Is that what we were doing?
We are, yes.
Sorry, mate. I had prior issues to attend with. Nice to see Big Shagger not doing very well because, yeah. So what's the? It's very. I actually agree with Greavesy. This is very boring, isn't it? This is very dull, isn't it? It's liven things up.
Greavesy, is there anything more to talk about from a Dudley Hill perspective? I mean, Zanetti's putting in a good performance.
Look,
you got his favourite player, Eric Addo, who's playing shit.
Is Eric Addo dead?
He's 94. It's that the fake African passport. They say he's 20
no, he's not. He's not. Apparently, he's only 43. Apparently.
That's all right.
Would you, Rob, if you were Steve, would you be making changes here to try and affect the game?
I'd be hoiking Mackay off and getting Inzaghi on, and I don't know what we did about Eric Addo. Probably shooting him out the back. To be fair, he needs to be put down like a dog. Awful.
Dan's confirmed that Addo isn't dead yet. Steve suggested he thought his side looked on top there. I don't know what game he was watching, personally.
Well, he's wrong,
on top
isn't
if
he?
you like to see later, but you just got to behave yourself now.
Again, just waiting Steve's clarification if he wants to change anything.
I did hear tattoo chatter. Could we do some more tattoo chat?
Well, have you got any tattoos?
No, I don't like needles. No, I'm
Is
not.
someone from Somerset not like needles?
I'm not from Somerset. I'm from Nottingham. So yeah,
even more.
How many have you got, Greavesy?
I've got a sleeve. I've got one on my chest, one on my arm, one on my back.
Yeah, you've got one on your bum hole.
Not yet, people. I'm waiting for you.
You got any 5 feet?
No, I don't have the pain threshold for tattoos.
Yeah, same here. I'm not brave enough. Maybe we can get one together and hold hands. What do you think?
Well, I'll get one with you in Leeds when you're coming up.
But yeah, Greavesy can come with us. Yeah, let's get Super League tattoos. Fucking hell, bunch of virgins.
Well, to be fair, Rob, I would take you up on that if you were to win it this year, because we could all go and get a star tattoo.
I don't think there's any chance of you getting that star.
You get one on each testicle of a win this year.
Right, so Steve's gone free up top and brought Roycer on behind the free as well. So it's an attacking move. Jens saying Greasy's got 13 tattoos, one on each finger.
Oh,
He's got the joke right for a change.
beautiful.
Let's kick on the second half. Adam's brother is called Ransford, whose first club was Ken Harrison Babies Colts FC.
I still loved it when Jens tried to insult me by calling me Ten Toes.
That's a great football team name, isn't it? That's a wonderful team name.
Lots of action in the opening exchanges of the second half.
It's like a Greavesy family party, isn't it? Lots of action.
You love it.
And it's 2-0. Cafu scores his first of the season for the home side. Defending champions in all sorts of trouble here now. And he thought it'd be easy playing against one at the back. And then we reach, I don't know, about 68, 69 minutes. It's just all the minutes still 2-0 to the home side. And Greasy, you said that he couldn't fluke another result with one at the back. And yet here he is, absolutely nailing it.
Well, keep playing this formation, see what happens, is all I say.
Would you be tempted looking at all those players in the 70s to bring them off at this point? Either of you?
I don't dare comment, because if this formation is successful, I don't know what I know about the game.
But none of us know anything. We're all just absolute chances, Greavesy. You know, let's not pretend.
Gary Neville, the only outfield sub, so he's not. I doubt Steve's going to be doing much here, but he needs to react somehow. Lizarazu on a yellow and struggling for fitness. Rob, may he be a contender to come off the field of play?
I'd leave him on. I'd be going 4 up top somehow. To be honest, you got to 4 up top. You got to do something here.
Get Big Rio up there to win the headers.
Oh, why not? What have you got to lose? Nothing.
Go one at the back himself.
Oh, I love one at the back. I've got one at the back tonight, Greavesy as well. So
to be fair, I can confirm he has, Greavesy.
He loves one in the back, doesn't
he? Yeah.
What's that you're drinking this evening, Mr. Marshall?
I'm just some Corona. I got it for free. I stole it today.
You need the decent stuff, mate.
I can't afford that, mate. I'm not middle class enough.
Long Arrow.
Uplifting is the future.
And Joey and Taram and Rio.
I've never been a fan of the old Lafayette, to be honest, Greavesy.
You don't like the Belgian beer?
Steve,
I like my beers to be from North Rhine. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Steve's taking the piss here, I feel.
Yeah,
I mean, Lizarazu's already nearly dead, and he's putting him on an advanced arrow as well. Everyone running forward.
I love this. I love it.
See, you're going to concede again.
Jens saying fantastic tactic. With the 2-goal deficit, there's no point slowing this one down just at the moment. It is all Bostock coming forward.
Can we do some more wrestling chat? Have we heard about Vincent Kennedy McMahon today? Have you heard about that?
Jeff Hardy's been arrested. I saw that on the news.
That's like
Well, they're trying to besmirch 2 of the women's wrestlers that I've seen because they walked out and told them to fuck off.
Because Dudley scored and Bostock scored. Because Vince has been fondling him up, hasn't he? He loves it, doesn't he? Apparently,
is he still doing that?
Vince McMahon said no amount of cocaine is too much. He reckons he can take any amount of cocaine. He loves
cocaine and steroids, isn't it?
Oh, what a!
You got to remember, he ruptured 2 quads and stood there and sat there in the ring shouting at people because they.
That was at the Royal Rumble with Cena and Batista, wasn't it? When they both knocked each other. Yeah.
He tore both quads and then sat there and then let people carry him out and didn't.
I think, mate, we should fuck this off. Right? Just fuck it all off. Right? Fuck it all off. And we'll just load up some old school wrestling game, and we'll just chat about wrestling because
Well, before you get right in that rabbit hole, can we just discuss the all-out attack mentality of Bostock and Dudley Hill here, who have run out with a 4-goal thriller. Bostock getting the 3 points. Jens saying this game and tactic is the final evidence we need a redraft. And Duggan's saying one at the back, Bostock looking good. Greasy, again, you said that there's no way they could fluke it again, and they've won comfortably.
Yeah.
And you really don't want to comment on it at all, do you?
No.
Steve saying we created
Well, it's
more.
proven wrong, so I will not comment.
We created more second half, says Steve, but you still lost, Steve, so it's irrelevant.
Yeah, doesn't really matter, doesn't it, mate? Yeah.
Some exceptional ratings, Rob, for this Bostock team. Look at Kutuzov, Torres as well, I believe, there with a... I got that the wrong way around. Kutuzov, Welsh on a 9.
Big
Plenty
nines.
of 8 started around. Cafu as well, showing the age is just a number.
Just Bostock looking sexy, aren't they? Yeah.
Fantastic performance.
I did enjoy the Dudley Hill penis formation, though. It was nice. Go have a look at that again. Go have a look.
That?
Oh, look at that. It's lovely.
Macca says Scott Sadler becoming Joe Palmer is embarrassing.
He hasn't played 9,000 years of a Hull saviour. So.
3rd in 14 is better than most. Suck it, says Steve. Let's have a look at the Dudley Hill stats to see if he's got a point, basically telling me to shut up. So we got Roy Mackay got subbed off, rating of 5. Eric Addo got subbed off, rating of 5. Tony and Saviola as a partnership, getting 6s apiece. Inzaghi came on and proved that, life after Tony and Saviola will be fine. Abiati and Zanetti rating highly, along with Lizarazu, who dropped to 67%. But it's all just a bit average for Dudley, that, Rob, isn't it?
Yeah, they did better second half, didn't they? When they inserted the penis, I thought they came on better in the second half. But
you do realise I'm now going to get a tactic file for Sunday called "Inserting the Penis."
So you should. But Saviola won't be missed, will he? Shithouse.
Well, congratulations to Bostock. Maybe this is the start of that consistent run that I was alluding to.
What happened to Saviola after he left Barca? I've gone like a complete blank here.
He went to Real Madrid, didn't he? On a free.
That's it. You're right.
And he went to Benfica.
Good knowledge, Greaves. Good knowledge, mate.
Gents, Jens has made a suggestion I'm interested in your opinion on. He suggests that we all chip in and buy a huge office in Thailand and then set up the Super League headquarters there with all managers moving over, no wives allowed.
I visited Thailand a few years ago and memories are etched in my mind, which I never wish to go back to. So, yeah, no.
We've been purposely saving this game for
Rob,
your arrival.
Rob, how many lady boys did you actually make this?
So when we were there,
if it's etched in your mind that you can't repeat, it means you touched a penis, didn't you?
Yeah, my own. Yeah. So I was sat by the
more than one penis, didn't you?
I mean, you've asked me a question, Greavesy, and what you've done is just talk over me. So do you want to fucking listen to it, or do you want to, what do you want to do? How do you want to do this?
I just know that you
fucking
more than your
inbred carrot crunching web feet motherfucker. Why don't you let me say what I'm trying to say? Or do you know what I mean?
You can bend the truth as much as you like, but we know that you've had a cock in your mouth.
The only thing that you bend is your penis inside of your mum. So fuck off. Do you know what? I'll save it.
Gents, just again, if I can interrupt just slightly, because we have got a game that we've been purposely
We've
saving.
got bigger fish to fry now. We've got that fraud Campbell.
We've got
bigger fish. You'll be able to catch those fish with your webbed feet, won't you?
We've been purposely saving this game for your arrival, Rob. So I think you both will have plenty to say. Still no Joe Cole or Alan Smith. So, but Jens Jeremies is back.
They're heavily depleted, any 2 fucking injuries.
I just want to go on record and say that I want Campbell to win the Super League and I want him to beat you, Greavesy, in the final 1-0 with a penalty. Right? That would make my life would be complete. I'm a really happy
want to deal with Campbell after he wins.
You know what? It'd be better than you winning it, mate.
What? I've already won it, son. You ain't got to worry.
Yeah, I know.
You know what's going to happen if
I just realised I fell into that. Yeah.
Let alone that bastard.
Right, so just to keep you updated with what's going on in the chat, everyone's laughing at you two slagging each other off. Macca saying Rob is 100% spot on. Ian saying thank you, Rob. Dimble's off to bed because of his ghost game. He can't wait any longer. Let's talk about
12. It's 20 past 10.
You heard Rob. Dimble's sitting in the car at caravans.
I heard that. The fucking loser.
Night, Dimble. I'm sure you'll
night,
watch.
Dimble. No, night, Dimble. Johnson milk and a snuggy blankie. Fucking bender.
Do you two want to discuss the Haggis team or not?
No, not really, yeah. Stephen. No.
For fuck's sake. Right, moving on. Should we talk Asta?
Yeah, let's talk. I said to Alf earlier, I think Alf would be great in a OAP's senior citizens naked attraction. Alf just hanging out with his wang out.
Is Asta Blaster?
Well, it could be an Asta disaster. We never will. So Alf, I mean, I'm happy to pitch that to Channel 4, but you're gonna have to get your dong out, mate. Yeah.
Greasy, have you got anything constructive to speak about the Asta team at all?
No more than what Rob's already inputted. What I said at the start of the show is it is rock out with your cock out.
Right. Are we just going to spend the next 20 to 30 minutes discussing how many different ways you two could get cock into the conversation?
Did you really think having both of us two on the same Super League chat would amount to anything else?
Jens is describing this as the student versus the teacher, this game. Rob Al says you'll need an 80-inch TV screen.
I like that, Alf. Mine's got a zoom on it as well, mate.
So I thought it was interesting to see Ambrosini and Emerson playing in withdrawing roles with Liverani manning centre midfield.
Be serious for a minute. Liverani's better at MC than what he is DMC. Emerson can do well there. Sally Hamovic would have been better at wing back going forward the same distance, but that's by the by. He can fill in well there. Got an okay strike partnership, and Franken's doing wonders AMC. So it's a solid formation. He should do well.
Okay, Greasy, a score prediction from you, please.
6-0 Asta.
6-0 to Asta. Rob?
I want to say 2-0 to the magnificent Gorgie boys. I mean 2-0 to Haggis Hunters. Sorry.
2-0 to Haggis predicted. Viduka with the first chance of the game. Takanadi putting one over the bar as well. Louis Zal next to put one over the bar, but this time for the home side. A couple of set pieces now for the home side. We're already nearly at half-time. Very little happening. 43 minutes on the clock as Viduka misses another chance. Corner kick, Ambrosini puts it wide, and there's the half-time whistle in no time at all. Mac is saying, I genuinely hate Asta.
That's not very nice.
Jens saying, quit the boring tactic analysis, please. Haggis have had double the amount of attempts as the home side and double the amount on target, Rob, but it remains 0-0.
What do you think about when Shawn Michaels super kicked Martin Jannetty through a glass window? What do you think about that?
It was groundbreaking at the back of the day.
I don't think I was old enough to even be watching wrestling at that point.
Well, you were a child, aren't you, Fifer, really?
That one group. Imagine that happened.
It was groundbreaking, but then you've got how it actually impacted the rest, because Marty Jannetty's fucking mental now, isn't he?
Oh, he's absolutely. He
admitted to killing. He said that he killed a gay bloke last year on Facebook Live, and then tried to say he didn't when they were trying to discover where the body could have been. That's what cocaine is. Don't do cocaine, kids.
Hell of a drug. Mark Overmars. What's going on there?
Same thing.
So it goes from the sublime to ridiculous for Asta. A superb performance by Ambrosini in midfield, but Mark Overmars having a complete nightmare out wide.
Well, Mark Overmars is a rapist, isn't he? So, yeah, let's get him out. Get him out. He shouldn't be in the league. He's a toucher.
Is that even... I've not even heard that. Is that a thing? Is that true?
Well, he got sacked by Ajax, didn't he? For
sexual harassment, wasn't it?
Yeah, sending pictures of his Johnson to a bit like Alf's going to do on the 80-inch screen, sending pictures of his Johnson to. So leave him out, leave Master. He's fine there. He likes getting his knob out, and so does Alf. Love it.
Sarah coming on for Overmars is the half-time substitution. As for Haggis, Greavesy, it's very average, and their form seems to be falling away from them.
Yeah, what a shame. What a shame.
Still plenty of fitness within the squad.
Manager.
I personally don't expect too many, if any, changes from Haggis here.
No, he's paint by numbers, isn't he? He's found something that worked at the start of the season, so he's keeping as close to it as possible. Because if he changes anything slightly, it might be a reason he fucks up.
It's worth saying, I believe this is the there might be a game on the Saturday, I'm not sure, but this might be the pre-Christmas fixture in the Super League.
17 games after this, isn't it? That's why we're hoping the transfers can come through.
Oh, Greavesy, did you see the Premier League fixtures today? Being a massive Newcastle fan you are, living in fucking East Anglia. Did you see that today?
Milinkovic-Savic?
No, I said the Premier League fixtures.
What? What's that got to do with anything?
The first transfer, we got Newcastle, Nottingham Forest, isn't it?
You cloth-eared twat.
Anyway, we've reached the hour mark in this game.
So I don't really know what's going on.
We've reached the hour mark in this game, and just as we hit the tactics break, Rossini has put Astor 1-0 up.
Man.
Well, what a time to be alive.
I've got to
say
Steve's saying he's only here for the league table now. There's still 2 games to go after this, Steve. What are you on about? Would you be making any changes, Rob, as Greaves' just up sticks and walked off?
I'd be rolling if I was Alfie Baby here. I'd be rolling as is. Let it carry it through. He'll be all right.
You've been requested. Macca says, Bagsy, me and Rob do game week 26 on comms.
Which one's that?
That'll be the last proper league game before the playoffs.
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
And then called you a big nonce.
I've been called worse in the last half an hour, to be fair.
Just waiting Alf's confirmation. In the meantime, let's have a look at Haggis Hunters. 1-0 down, as I say. They've just conceded.
Could be catching the dirty bastard, couldn't it?
The only time Rob has slid in my DMs is when he tried to loan me and Dai in the middle of last year's playoffs.
It's true. It's true. Absolutely true.
Alf saying as is. Ian saying Samba for Quesas.
I'll still never forget when I first joined the Super League. One of the first managers that messaged me saying, "Hi, I'm Rob. I'm going to abuse you for every moment I can. Don't worry, it's just me. It's just from Rob."
And Del Piero's level things up for Haggis.
I'm going to abuse you.
Macca wants to do comms from your kitchen.
Macca, you are always welcome in my kitchen. No problems. You will always find me in the kitchen at parties, Macca, and that's what it'll be, mate. Why don't we just do the entire game week 26 from my kitchen? Everyone just turn up.
Liverani, it was with a chance there for Astor to regain the lead, but he fails to put it away. Macca saying that's lovely.
I've invested in a new bourbon today, Rob.
Sorry, matey.
I've got a new drink today. I bought a new bottle that I hadn't tried before, and I thought,
have a look.
I actually quite like it. The Jim Beam Red Cherry. It's quite nice.
That sounds incredibly homosexual, but if you like it, mate, that's all that matters.
Rob, your prediction was right. Astor won, Haggis won at full time. A fairly even game. Some wayward finishing from the away side. Greavesy, low by your expected standards tackling stats from both sides. Astor slightly unfortunate.
Yeah, they should have beat the dirty bastards. Unfortunately, they couldn't get the upper hand because Overmars was being a paedophile before half-time.
Ambrosini, though, on the other hand, continued to be stellar in that second half.
That's what he does, though, isn't it? The dirty little Italian. He just clatters people and wins the ball. One of the most underrated DMs in the game.
Ian Edwards saying, nice Jonah Louis reference, Rob. While Macca's calling Campbell pathetic. Iker Casillas picking up man of the match for his performance. Also notable, Jens Jeremy's back and available again, doing what he does best, Rob.
Yeah, but you know what that means.
Sorry, ask me, Greavesy. My name's Rob.
Give a shit.
You're Peter. Yeah.
I talk what I want. Casillas 5 next game.
Right. Are you finished? Because no one cares what you think. All right? Honestly, no one gives a shit.
I don't give a shit.
No, you don't give a shit. If you don't give a shit, fucking shut up. You're like my 8-year-old. You stop talking. Do you know what I mean? And you're still going.
Fucking
Do you polish your hair?
Anyway, Rob, comment.
No, I don't want to now, Stephen.
Okay, fine, fair. Ian saying we'll take a point, awaiting reinforcements for our next match. Jens saying worst game of football of the night. So not much to really comment on if you're listening to the chat. As Greavesy, who's I'm guessing he's suffering from old man bladder, has got up for the 5th time already during this broadcast and walked off. That brings us, however, to what should have been the main event, but due to Ghost Game is the penultimate fixture of the night, and we've got Devils at home to Locomotive Boston. So Rob, talk us through your team and your brand new one at the back tactic.
The thing is, I am horrendous at home. So whatever side I manage, I can't win at home. I don't know what the problem is. So I just thought Greavesy hates one at the back. So I'll go one at the back just to piss him off.
I'd love Nesta get sent off because he got no defenders on the bench. And I would laugh so much. I would fucking kill myself.
Do you have any understanding how conversation works?
No, I just talk.
You ask me a question, you're still chipping off, aren't you? What's the matter with you?
Well, in the chat, Mac is saying Greaves has got an African passport, pass it on. And Jens is saying Greaves has got a sister to pleasure. So lots of anti-Greaves comments coming in. So purely gone one at the back just because Greavesy doesn't like it then, Rob, yeah?
Yeah, just to annoy him in any way possible, really.
Do you want to select a captain?
It's got to be Nesta, hasn't it?
Got to be Nesta. Obviously, Zauri, very accomplished defender. Is it wise not having a centre back when you're playing one at back? Is your option basically to drop Oya back if you need to, or even Somachinsky potentially?
You know what, mate? I didn't really think into it in that much detail, but we'll see what happens there.
He's playing Ricardo Gardner.
Ricardo Gardner, yes, at left wing back.
Well, I've signed him for lots of money, so I should probably utilise him.
You did. You signed him for 10.75 million from Northern Bern.
And he just throw the cash around. Yeah.
There's a few teams that could do with the cash right now with the transfer window open, that's for sure. Let's then have a look at what Greavesy's done. You've also mixed it up, and it's a return for Olasadabe up front.
Yeah, Montella's dead to me until next week, so meh.
Cassano and Scholes continues in support Rui Costa in centre midfield. Interesting how I was intrigued to see how you would deal without the suspended Petit, because he's like Mr. Consistent for you. You confident Zanoni and Makaleli as a partnership will work?
Not really. It's a dead game until I get my new players.
Okay.
Fucking, this is so vanilla and it's so boring. You're the type of fucker that stops at the lights on GTA, aren't you? That's what type of person you are. Look at this. This is just Christ. You're gonna finish this and you're gonna go upstairs and Mrs. Greaves is gonna get an absolute 3 minutes of standard missionary. Do you know what I mean? This is absolutely like
Did you want to pick a captain?
I'm a firm believer, Rob, that sex is a race and first one to come wins. I can't help that I've never lost.
Greaves, want to pick a captain?
Just let it select.
Auto-select. Jens saying this is the game that crashes the save. Let's kick this one off then and see how the first half pans out. And Loco going straight on the attack. 2 or 3 attempts in the opening 5 minutes there, and then Devils coming forward. Both managers looking stressed. And there's an injury for Tonsinzola Makoku.
Oh,
Go on, Henri, just put Henri straight on.
put Willins. You got to put Willins on. Fuck's sake.
Thierry Henry coming on for Makoku. So we continue. 15 minutes on the clock. Devils coming
You're looking a
forward.
bit tense, Rob. What's going on?
Macca saying boo. Duggan saying Wellens. 22 minutes on the clock, and it's very much a tactical battle. Ferguson, it is with the latest opportunity. Devils have firmly taken over. Can they get the goal that this bit of dominance perhaps warrants, or are they going to let Loco back in? 44 now on the clock as Loco come forward, go offside, and quite unsurprisingly, it's 0-0 at half time. Rob, as the home side, what was your thoughts on that first half?
No matter what I do, I'm going to lose 1-0 here. Like, whatever I do, I'm getting beat 1-0 here. I can't do fuck all about it. It's the inevitability of football, isn't it? You know when something's going to happen. It's going to happen. And you can't do anything about it.
It's like Johnson joining Newcastle just before the start of the season, him scoring in the opening game.
Johnson won't sign for Newcastle because he signed a new contract for Forest today, so fuck off. Right. As is Fifey. Thank you.
Okay, fair enough. Greavesy, as for yourself, a look at your stats here. Peruzzi continuing to shine in goals, and only doing well in holding midfield, but you're looking at the likes of Casano and Olasadabe and needing a bit more from your forward players.
They've all been shit. Have Hasselbank come on for us, please.
That's it. Bring Hasselbank on because you don't have enough confidence in your own ability of your selection.
So to clarify, that's for Olasadabe, yeah?
Yeah, please.
That's right, yeah.
I've been there loads of times, Mac. I can't say I'm too happy I never went through with it either. Mac is still going on about divorce in the chat.
I've got a spare room, Mac. It's all yours, mate, if you want it.
Let's kick off the second half. Devils continuing to stream forward, but still yet to score. Yellow card handed out, 56 now on the clock. As Frey gets away with letting a shot go wide, and then Rui Costa.
So inevitable. It's so inevitable. It's just ridiculous.
waiting desperately to make the tactic changes as Loco streaming with a few shots of their own. 67 on the clock then, gents. Still 0-0. And Rob, you're first to make your move. What would you
Let's
like
get
to
Zari
do?
off. Let's get Gardner off. Oh no, Gardner's got a fucking 8. What the fuck? No, let's just roll. Let's go with it. This one.
Just going with it. Greavesy? Couple of 9 performances in there. Zanoni and Peruzzi. Gone up from the 8s they were at half time.
2-door on for Sagnol.
Tudor on for Sagnol.
Swap was Zanoni.
Like that?
Yes.
Okay. Super League Divorce Day playoff final. And Tater saying, I really like my wife. Feel like I might be in the minority. Well, my wife left me 2 years ago, so I'm not a big fan, personally. We'll slow the speed down for the last 25 minutes of this game. Greavy's not even watching.
Don't need to. I'm going to score in the 89th minute.
Peruzzi with yet another save. Hasselbank offside. 77 now on the clock as Devils come forward again. Gardner, Van Bronckhorst. Compe gets away with a warning. Free kick given, which Van Bronckhorst takes and gives it to Kuehl. Peruzzi gets down well to make yet another save. And we're into the final 10 minutes. Which manager, if either, is going to show absolute limbs at the end of the game? Nesta, Gardner, goes out for a throw-in.
Get ready, sir. Get ready.
And into injury time, Loco come forward, and it's Tudor, Rui Costa. Still Costa, Zanoni, Casano, Hasselbank. Well saved. And Devils withhold the pressure, and this game ends 0-0.
You boring bastard.
Wives are a myth, says Macca. Jens says, I'm not married, I'm not that stupid. And Tato delighted this one's ended in a draw. So I'll let you go first at halftime, Rob. So Greavesy, I'll come to you for your immediate post-match reaction. Excellent. Cheers, Greavesy.
What? I thought you were going to Rob first.
No, I said I'll let Rob go first at half-time, so Greavesy, I'll come to you for your immediate post-match reaction.
Oh, I was fucking meh. Half my shots on target, completed half my tackles. Rob should have beat me. Poor Bowman's lucky to get a point.
And just bringing your individual player stats up on the screen. Anything that you were pleased with, or anything in particular you were displeased with?
Little Jimmy getting 3 shots on target. He's impressed me. He could keep a place on the bench in the future. But other than that, I expect better out of everyone else.
As for you, Rob, your post-match?
Yeah, I'd just like to apologise, really, for what Greavesy puts us through every fucking week. You are so boring. It's just like, you are the fucking cauliflower of the Super League. I can't believe the shit you turn out week after week and get away with. You're not even paying attention now. You're looking on your phone at pictures of fucking vegetables, aren't you? What's the matter with you?
I've got pictures of your wife she sent me.
She didn't send you anything because her fingers are too stubby to use the phone properly.
We've got some post-match in for you guys from the chat. Jens saying, what a fantastic game of football. Thank you, gents, for a fantastic game of football and just a fantastic performance on comms. And then followed that with a separate comment that simply said, wankers. Steve Wright saying, Peruzzi again. Maka saying, Greasy trying to get the Super League stopped with that shit. Tato saying, a clinical striker might have helped you there, Greavesy. If only you had one, which Duggan followed up with, Montella would have won him that 1-0. Well, congratulations both on a point. I'm sure
I've stopped the rot. I've stopped the rot, Fifey, so I'm quite happy with the point against those fucking shit ass
you have
breaks.
indeed, and you know you played one at the back, and that one picked up man of the match as well.
So there we go. Everything's good.
So that brings us to what is now the final game. This was the ghost game from earlier. So just a quick reminder of the lineups. We've got Churchtown at home, playing with 2 at the back, Tamazi in front, and then that bank of 4 behind Agahawa Brujink supporting Hussein. And then Dragons with this altered formation, playing 2 up top and 3 DMs. So, Greasy, a score prediction, please.
Churchtown 2-0.
And Rob?
I'm going to go Dragons 3-1.
Interesting. Okay. And it's Churchtown who have started quickest, and they go 1-0 up. Zambrotta on 12 minutes opens the scoring. Agahawa has an attempt. Dragons manage to come forward, but they're offside. Dragons seem to have been woken up by that goal, but Churchtown continues to look threatening when they go forward. And on the stroke of half-time, Arnold Brujink makes it 2-0. Greasy, you predicted 2-0, and that is the score.
That's what will finish.
That's what it'll finish. It's been clinical from Churchtown. Rob,
it's poor. Look at that. Look at that. Duggan, hang your head in shame. Shame. Poor.
Well, let's have a look at the Dragon stats first then. As we know, Duggan is here, whereas Dimble is tucked up in bed. You described it as poor, Greavesy. Who stands out as particularly poor for you? Is it the 5 rating for Ortega, or are you looking more further back at the defensive players?
Ortega, Taselko, Balmer, Saeed, done fuck all. And if you look at the players that have actually done something, Lazines, 5 tackles at half time for your main player is your main 2 defensive players have both completed 4 tackles each. Fucking appalling.
Dragons are reacting to what they've seen. Ortega being withdrawn for Riquelme, and Lazans and Bishkan being pushed in centre midfield without the arrows, kind of matching up to what Churchtown do. Rob, a word on the home side?
Dimple's got him ticking, hasn't he? He knows what's going on. So I've got Duggan pajamas though. So I'm hoping for a big return from the 3 Dixon second half.
Dimble's got loads out of Agahawa, says Jens, and Tato's saying that he fucking hates Ortega. Let's kick off the second half and see if the changes can help Dragons get back into this as we go to 60 minutes. And it's already won. It's Morientes on 47. And here they come again, but Khan with the save. Dragons coming forward at will. But Churchtown through Hussein make it 3-1, just as Dragons look like they might equalise.
Always nice to see Salam bag one, isn't it?
Mac is saying Duggan could be a myth and it breaks his heart. Dragons had got one back and looked to be on top, but a heartbreaking goal for them as Hussein restores a 2-goal lead for Churchtown. Is there still time, 25 left to play, for Carew to come on somewhere, Rob, and make an impact?
This is all over. Let's just get it over with. Just get it finished. It's over.
Greasy, do you continue to be impressed by Churchtown?
Yeah, Churchtown are playing. Dimble's got them ticking, eh?
Yeah, but Greavesy, you're impressed me when the fucking sun comes up in the morning, you fucking dullard.
So there are alterations for Dragons. So we've got an arrow now on Raquelme, Carew coming on for Sigalka, and an arrow onto Bishkan for halfway. Just a quick look at Churchtown so Dimble can see how his side were doing up to this point. A couple of crucial nines in the centre of the pitch with Petrov and Brujink and Tamazi as well, who, Greasy, I think you said you expect to play very well in that position. No fitness concerns either for Churchtown. So we roll on. Let's see how those changes affect things for Dragons, if they can get themselves back into it again. Carew with an opportunity, and Lazans pulls one back, and it's 3-2 now with 18 to play. We'll slow the commentary down. Are we going to see, we've had a lot of low-scoring draws tonight, and are we about to see a high-scoring classic? Dragons need one more to snatch a point. Churchtown under a bit of pressure. Brujink picks up. Brujink scores again. It's 4-2 to the home side. And that man who we've all been talking about, Greasy specifically mentioned him in the build-up to this game about how he's gone on to much bigger and better things since leaving Loco. He's at the double and restored the lead again. Dragons hit the upright. They're still coming forward looking for this. Hussein scores this 5-2. I believe there was a nutmeg involved in that and a solo jinking run. Incredible stuff for Churchtown. Carew, what a game this is! It's 5-3. Unbelievable, sees there's still 5 minutes to play. Mild picks it up. Zambrotta, Agahawa. Juan clears and Morientes picks it up. Riquelme. Bishkan, but Viali getting in the way. Moving towards injury time. Is there another twist in this yet? Neil picking up and Hussein, but Juan gets in the way. Brujink on a hat-trick. Zambrotta, Shiotis does well. Hussein picks it up. And that's Zambrotta again. Shiotis with another save. Dragons come forward now, but Baumer dispossessed. He picks it up again. Bishkan shoots, and it's a corner kick. And it's 5-4. Carew scored again. Surely not. And there's the final whistle. And the final game of the night is a 9-goal thriller. And it ends Churchtown 5, Dragons 4. Rob, what can you possibly say about that game?
I mean, that's good, but it's not Spartak's lost 5. All's Vikings 5, is it? But it's good. We'll take that. What a great way to close out the evening.
This is what we like to see. With the exception of Greavesy, this is what the neutral likes to see. An all-out attacking performance by both sides.
Beautiful.
Disgraceful.
Disgraceful, says Greaves. Just having a look at the chat here. Tato saying quality game. Jens saying Dimble might be the real manager of the season. What a game of football, says Jens. Duggan saying that's what every game in the Super League should be like. You boring word I won't repeat. Criminally underused Carew, says Tato. Save as restart, says Maka. And then just some game that and wow and great game are the other comments. Let's have a look at the Churchtown stats. Unsurprising to see Oliver Kahn rating a 5, but Brujink man of the match with a 10. We've got a 9 rating for Hussein, another 9 rating for Volodenkov, and 9 for Tamazi as well, Rob. It's basically Khan's worst game for Churchtown nearly cost them, but they got away with it because some of the other players were absolutely stunning tonight.
I think Churchtown might win the whole thing. Said it.
Yeah, putting that on record.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah. What do you think, Greavesy? Your 14
It's
tape
just
prick.
disgraceful. With that defensive display, you're not going to get far.
Yeah, but if you can outscore the opposition, that's all that matters, mate. That's all that matters.
Your thoughts on the Dragons' performance, Greavesy? Carew came on, certainly did a job.
It's just disgraceful. You conceded fucking 5 goals. You should feel ashamed. Hang your head in shame. Shame.
Shame, says my co-commentator. But yes, as per the comments in the chat and the sentiments by one of the co-commentators, an excellent way to end tonight's action. Absolute scenes at the Dropping Well in Brisbane. So let's have a look at the classifiers. We had Astor 1, Haggis 1, Bostock 3, Dudley 1, Churchtown 5, Dragons 4, Fulchester 1, Leddersford 1, Halls 0, Burn 0, Sloths 1, Gazelles 0. And my co-commentators fought out a 0-0 draw. Block Dimble, says Macca. Greasy man, this defensive pantomime villain crack is unfunny as fuck, says Duggan. Give Dimble a redraft, says Jens.
Duggan, I've been playing this villain card for the past 2 years. I don't give 2 fucks what you think. If it's funny or not. That's who I am.
So the top 6 remains unchanged tonight. I just have it.
Just after that comment, where are Dragons after having their best transfer window ever?
I'm just having a look, and interestingly, none of the top 6 won tonight. So poor showing from the teams at the top. Fulchester remain 2 points clear of Haggis, who remain 3 clear of Dudley, who are further 2 clear of both of my co-commentators tonight. Leddersford 8 points off top, and only in the top 6 on goal difference. Bostock also on 20 points. 5 goals worse off. Churchtown a point further back on 19. Halls a point further back on 18. And then we've got Astor and Gazelles, the teams widely tipped by most to be the bottom 2, just 3 points off the dotted line themselves on 17 points. Look how tight it is though. Dragons in 12th, 16 points. And then Sloths out of nowhere on 15 points. Northern Burn there on 8 points, 7 points adrift at the bottom. Let's see the fixtures. Yes, you'll get them in a second. Still above you, Greavesy, says Ian. Proper Constantina, the league now. Yeah, correct. Steve says, I'm finishing second and win it again. Soz lass. I think he means lads. Yeah, second comment there. 2 weeks running that, says Macca. Shut up, you real ale dosser. I presume that's aimed at you, Greavesy. Let's have a look at the fixtures for Sunday. We've got Astor at home to Devils. Rob, we'll get your reaction to that in a second. Bostock at home to Halls. Dragons at home to Burn. Fulchester hosting Churchtown. What a game that could be. Gazelles, Leddersford. Haggis, Dudley. And then at the bottom there, Spartak Sloths at home to Loco. So, Rob, you are away to Astor on Sunday.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to pump someone sooner or later. And I think it could be Astor on Sunday.
You want to pump out?
I'm going to give him the pumping of his life.
You're also playing away this weekend, Greavesy. Sloths for you?
It should be good. I've not got a good record against Sloths, unfortunately, because that dirty bastard across from me is having to bloody stitch me up every time I faced him. But I managed to get a good result, but hopefully I shall have my debutantes playing for me, and we'll crack in.
Well, you'll notice that I pointed out it was the 21st of December in game. The next game would be on my 16th birthday, Saturday the 7th of January 2006. So plenty of time for me to process those transfers for you. I will work through that and get team packs out tomorrow night when I'm in, because I'm going out with the team from work first, straight after work, mini golf and then food. So you'll get your packs later on tomorrow night. Just before the banter ensues any further, I just want to thank you, Ian, who's wished me a happy birthday. 16th, I'd already had clapped twice by 2006, says Macca. Just a thanks to everyone in the Super League and the wider champ community who was kind enough to listen to and share the Fools Rush In's latest podcast as we took a week out from talking football because there was no Swindon Town manager announcement and actually focused on something serious and men's mental health. Some very, very serious stories shared by the panel this week, so I appreciate anyone who took the time to watch, listen, share. We very much appreciate it. It's been one of our bigger shows, and it's got a very good reaction. So thank you very much. FRI, indeed, Macca.
Yeah, I'll back up that 5. That was a good listen. I think it's a men's mental health week. Important. Yeah, good shout, mate. Well done.
Thank you, mate. I appreciate that. But banter aside,
it
is important.
It is 5. It's banter aside. Everyone in the Super League is here for everyone. If anyone is feeling low or is going through shit, my DM's are always open. I might seem like an arsehole, but I'm not. If anyone needs anyone to talk to, just hop it out. Men's health, we do shy away from it, and everyone goes through struggles. If anyone needs anything, and I do know anyone in the league will reach out if anyone needs anything. Just crack on, and it's just don't shy away, share, because you will help yourselves.
No, absolutely, and I know Steve very kindly plugged it in this week's Stemp, and I know that that Smuts also mentioned it last night in the Small Horse Invitational Trophy. And I really do appreciate everyone who has sent me a message about it and stuff. It's very kind. But serious stuff over. Let's conclude the only way you two know how. Greavesy, thank you for joining us all night. Any final comments from you?
Yeah, Churchtown Dragons, you should be ashamed of your defensive performance. And that's about it. Still in the playoffs. Fuck you bastards below me, and we'll rise on.
And Rob, thank you for gracing us with your presence for the last couple of games as well. Any final comments from you?
Yeah, I'm sorry I'm late, and I'm also sorry that I had to look at Greaves' stupid fucking face and his shit tattoo for the past 45 minutes. Apart from that, have a lovely evening, Fifey, and Greaves, go fuck yourself.
Thank you very much. From me, from Greavesy, and from Islamic All-Stars himself, Mr. Marshall, thank you very much for watching this evening. I believe comms is available for Sunday. Give me a shout if you'd like to do it. I know these two will be a hard act to follow. Other than that, packs will be out sometime tomorrow night when I get in from being absolutely smashed at Crazy Golf. Thank you very much for watching. Good night.